Hey, everybody. Welcome to No Way Jose, starring this man in front of you. He is a 10-time Olympian, a 12-time IFBB Pro League champion, an Arnold Classic champion, one of the founding fathers of what is now called the 212 division. Please welcome the Boston Mass, Jose Raymond. What's up, Jose?
What's up, Ron? This gets better every time.
Yeah, so I'm trying. So today's show, the title is Classic Catching Up. Before we even get into that, some people were upset that we were giving, in our wrap-up at the Boston Pro not long ago, we were giving Urs Kalicinski a lot of props, saying this kid's a superstar. And some people felt that we were sort of slighting William Bonac because we're being so complimentary toward Urs. But, you know, we gave William plenty of props too. We were both very impressed with him. It was a very clear win. So would you like to clear that up? We were not shitting on William Bonac by giving Urs his moment.
Well, clearing it up would give some credence to those comments. But I will say it's ridiculous because I love William, and I competed with William. I watched him grow from 212 to the freak he is now, and I had him winning the Arnold Classic.
Yep.
I had him winning in 2019 when Brandon beat him. I have William winning almost every show he does. I think he's incredible. And I think the win in Boston was so lopsided that it wasn't even close. He won by a large margin that it kind of went without saying. Yeah, William won. He was, I think he's incredible. And people mistook my enthusiasm for Urs, this young, bright star that just came out of nowhere and is just incredible. He was the exciting new star of the weekend. That's what he was. He outshined William because William's performance just went without saying. It was just like, to me, it was a easy win for him.
Yeah,
it's not saying that William is not a superstar. He is one of, I say, 5 guys in open bodybuilding that are the remaining ones that are throwback, hardcore, bubbly, huge, shredded, round, whatever superlative you want to use. William's one of the few guys that has that. Yeah. We were just so excited, and the energy in the place, the energy in the entire weekend surrounding Urs was next level. So we celebrated Urs. It's not that we were bashing William whatsoever, or even neglecting him. We spoke, vehemently about how awesome William was.
Yeah.
But there was just an energy that Urs brings that no one else does. Yeah. That's all. That's all it was. He is something else, that kid, and even more so than any of the other guys in the Classic. Like Terrence is the best poser in all of fitness sports,
right?
In any division. But Urs still has an energy about him that is different. Chris is by far the best physique in Classic Physique, but Urs has a different type of energy. Yeah. It's exciting, and all we did was talk about it and share our enthusiasm. And it wasn't just us; it was the entire building. You could feel how excited people were for him and to be there and witness it. Yeah. So we were just telling what we felt and what we experienced. And it wasn't just me, it wasn't just you.
No.
That it was what it was. And by no way were we disrespecting William. Right. And I don't know who even wrote that. Why would anyone write that? They just, people are going to say no matter what when I talk. I get excited. I got a crazy scratchy voice. I got a weird accent. I say what's on my mind. And people are gonna say you're gonna either like it or you're not. I don't care. I don't do it for the ones that don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody likes you, you must be a pretty wishy-washy person who never takes any kind of stand or has any kind of opinion, because people are going to disagree with you. But Classic, when Classic first came around in 2016, I thought, well, this is cool. It's something different. They've got weight limits. They hit different type of poses, and they're trying to bring back that whole feel of the golden age of bodybuilding and symmetry and shape and small waist. I thought it was a cool thing. I never thought it would be rivaling open bodybuilding in popularity, but it's getting there. If it's not there already, you have to look at who the fans are. The fans of bodybuilding have always been, the majority of them, young guys, 18 to 25. That's always who bought magazines, supplements. Gyms are packed full of these guys. I'm 52, you're pushing 50. We're kind of like the dinosaurs. You're not 50 yet.
Take it easy.
Well, you're gonna be 50 someday. Deal with it. But it's the future of the sport is always based on who the young people are following and what the trends are. And I see so many young guys. I go to a pretty big gym, Bayshore Athletic Club. Shout out to Tim Dowling, the owner, Braintree, Mass. A lot of young guys there, and especially on the weekends, we get the visitors from other gyms. It's a lot of kids in that age group, 18 to 25. And in between the sets, I'll see them trying to hit classic poses, and I hear them whispering about Bumstead and Ramon. And, we got a fair amount of Brazilians in this area, as you know, in Massachusetts. A lot of them will come up to me and ask me, oh, I saw that thing with you and Ramon. This is who they're embracing. This is what they're looking toward and aspiring to. And, we can't say, these kids have no taste. They should be all about Hadi and Rami and all the big freaky guys. What's wrong with these kids? Don't they appreciate the 275 pounds shredded? But you can't make people like things that they don't like. It's like music. I think I used to love rap music. I think the rap music now is mostly crap. It's horrible. But these young kids, like my son, he's way into it. I can't even listen to the stuff he listens to. It drives me nuts. They are so focused on classic now as opposed to open. First of all, why do you think the young kids are really such huge fans of classic physique rather than open bodybuilding right now?
Because we live in a society, in an age now where it's instant gratification. Everything is now. I need it now. I want it now. So you have less and less guys that are going to put in the patience, the time that it takes to develop a physique like William, like Hadi, like Rami. There's less and less guys willing to put in that time. Now, you can develop a physique like Urs, like he has in 6 years. 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. 20, he's 23 years old. You can do that in a pretty short period of time. Not short, but far shorter than what it took Brandon Curry to get where he is, than what it's taken William to get where he is, and Rami. These guys, there's a very small group of guys that are willing to put in the time to get like that. Like, the up and coming guys are Hunter, are Ian, are Nick, Rafael Brandao. We saw it in Rafael 3-4 years ago, and he's still not there, but he's damn close now. We're going to see in the next 2, 3, 4, even 5 years, these guys are going to be incredible. But how many people want to put in that time, before they become what they can be? Yeah. Not many. They don't. So it's a lot easier, and that word is going to just hit wrong with some people. Oh, you think it's easier to be like Chris Bumstead? No, I don't. Well, I think these guys are incredible, but it's certainly more attainable than if Chris wanted to be 275 on stage. Yeah. Which is around what he would have to be at 6'2".
100%. Yeah.
So it's a time thing. It's today's generation. They want it now. Everything is immediate. You know, remember, we're old, so remember the days when a show would happen, we might hear through a friend from a phone call how the placings went, but really we'd have to wait a month before the magazines came out
Yep.
to see the pictures and get the results and get the story, how it went, the breakdown of the show. Now it happens immediately. It's instant, you know, so it's just a different generation, a different time. I don't think it's going to take over men's bodybuilding. I just don't. I just think it's another added facet to the fitness industry, to the bodybuilding world. That we have another division to be crazy excited about, and it's really entertaining. And you know, it's just another division. That's all it is. It's not going to take it over.
Well,
It's not.
It's not going to take it over. Do you think it could be as popular in a year or two or three?
I think it is right
Mm.
now. I think it already is.
Mm.
You mean as popular? We're talking about it right now on a bodybuilding show.
True,
you know?
true. I mean, I wonder when would the money ever be the same? That's because we saw
Oh, well, there's
the
only so much money to go around. So history tells you that Mr. Olympia, there's one. There's one big top daddy of them all.
Yeah.
And that is going to be the big guy because, you know, Arnold was the biggest. And then Ronnie was the biggest, and Dorian was the biggest, and Jay and Phil, and now Rami.
Yeah.
It's you know, the big boys. That's the heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
You know, they're the main card on the big fights. You know, that's why Mike Tyson got paid that much.
True.
You know, but it's not to say though that, you know, the lighter divisions, Hagler and Leonard, weren't as exciting, and they did end up making some good money too.
Right.
But always the biggest payday is going to be the big boys.
So yeah, I suspect another reason why Classic is so much more popular with the young guys, besides the fact that it's more attainable, they can realistically see themselves. You know, a lot of them don't have any concept that you have to still be a genetic freak to look like these top guys, but they could say, you know, I'm the same height as Terrence Ruffin. He competes at like I think he's 170. That's his cutoff. They could imagine being 170 and ripped on stage.
You're taller than Ruffin.
Yeah, he's five. I want to say
5'5".
I want to say
5'5" and change.
I think he's 5'5". So I think his cutoff is 170. Breon, I know he can't be heavier than 180. That's his cutoff.
Yeah.
I think if you're like 5'8" in Classic, you could be like 190, 192 or something. Yeah, because that's what George Peterson was when he was in Classic. He had to get down to 192. So they could see realistically, even if it's not a time thing, although, yeah, they do want it now, but I don't think most of them could imagine ever carrying that much weight and size. Like obviously Rami's like, nobody's going to look like, you're not going to look like Rami. And I don't care who you are. That's like a 1 in a million accident of genetics, a mutation. But they do see, you know, like I said, I see these kids trying to imitate the poses in between their sets. They're trying to do like the victory pose and this and that. And in their minds, they're thinking, you know, I could look like Bumstead. I could look like Terrence Ruffin. I could look like Ramon or Logan or one of these guys.
Well, and their girlfriends are like, oh my God, Chris Bumstead's so hot. Yeah. They're not saying, oh my God, Rami is so hot. Right. You know, it's they're attracted to these guys with full head of hair, youthful looking, with aesthetics and pretty, look great in a suit, look great in clothes. You know, they look more like, they're a lot bigger in person than you think.
Right.
But, you know, they just flow better. It's nicer to look at to women. So, you know, guys are going to say, oh, I don't care what a girl thinks. Yeah, sure you do.
Sure you don't.
Yeah.
So, another thing that these Classic guys, because most of them do tend to be younger, most of the top guys now are in their 20s, the Classic guys. They are way more
for the reason I just said.
Oh, well, because
it takes forever to get there.
You're right.
So you're going to have guys in their 20s in Classic.
Yeah. So they can relate to them a lot better than, you know, Brandon's late 30. Most of these guys now, we're finally seeing a lot of the older athletes retire near them, but still on average, open bodybuilders, for the reasons you said, they do tend to be older than the top Classic guys. There's not many Classic guys that are 40 or over, while there's still a good amount of open guys who are 40 or even older. And that brings me to the social media thing. Young people, because they grew up with all this stuff with the iPhones and everything, they are amazingly proficient at social media. They all can edit videos on their phone and make all kinds of memes and GIFs, and they're on every platform. They're on YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, all that. So they really take full advantage of everything that's available to make their own brand publicity and videos. And they're engaging these kids every day. These kids are checking up, well, what Bumstead do today? Or what's Ruffin having for lunch today? Whereas some of these open guys, even the ones that aren't that old, you barely ever hear from them on social media. It's just not their thing. Like, you're not a social media guy. You post, but you're not on there all day posting like nonstop. I know you're not.
No, I never was.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was a hard transition for me to go from, I enjoyed the Dorian Yates style of training, where he trained because he loved it, and it was hardcore, and it was real, and it wasn't for the cameras, and it wasn't for anyone else but himself. And then, the contracts stopped, or they were highly dependent on how much social media you could produce.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I hated interacting with them, getting emails. We really need you to post this, a picture of you holding your pre-workout. And I'm like, I don't even use it. Like, why can't you use it? You did a dozen photo shoots with me. Why don't you post it?
Right.
It's, I couldn't stand it, but I understand it now, and I understand the how powerful it is. It's a powerful tool. These young kids are really good at it, and it is useful for everyone if it's used in the correct way.
Yeah.
It's still a way for me to communicate with people, and I enjoy live videos when I can reach people and talk to people, answer questions, and it's easy access for people to reach out to me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't need to, record every moment of my day. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, you're not 20 years old. That's why you don't understand it.
Right.
It's almost like if you don't record it, it didn't even happen now. Like
yes,
they have to
in the
document
gym, it's
everything.
getting out of hand.
Yes.
There'll be 4, 5, 6 tripods in the gym in Nate's place, and it's a small gym.
Yeah.
And I said it to him. I'm like, dude, sometimes this has got to stop. I was doing walking lunges down. It's got like a turf area.
Yeah.
And there was a girl set up right in the middle with her tripod, and I didn't stop. I just you could tell that I was either going to knock over the tripod and then she was like, "Oh, let me move this." I'm like, "Yep, exactly." You cannot take up the space or they'll have the tripod leaning right against the fly machine. Like, what if someone wants to use that?
Can't.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Have your buddies film it.
So the last question I have for you, do you think the popularity with Classic, it appeals to these young people? Do you think health is any of their concern? Because obviously you have to take a little more risk to be 275 pounds ripped versus 220 pounds ripped, given if you're the same person. Do you think that's a concern for them, or it's more just an impatience thing?
For some it might be, or that might be their crutch, their excuse to lean on. Well, if I just do Classic, I don't have to do tons of drugs. So,
yeah.
Listen, the Classic guys are doing plenty. They're doing plenty.
Yeah.
And then there's open guys that do less than Classic guys. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
It is. So that is not the real reason, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that say it. Clearly being, it's easier on your body to be carrying 230 than it is 280.
Right.
So there's definitely a healthier look to it, I think. But I'm not sure that I mean, maybe the younger, naive guys that don't know, don't know the difference. They'd be like, "Oh, really? He uses stuff." Yeah, yeah.
Yes, some
Well, I
of
thought
it.
only the huge guys use stuff. Yeah.
I had a
Okay.
kid ask me, and he must not have been much of a Bumstead fan because Bumstead's talked about gear use in different interviews. He said, "Well, Chris Bumstead's doesn't use steroids, does he?" I go, "Of course he does. You stupid." Just they assume if somebody's not as big as, they think only someone like Rami sized. Well, that's obviously a steroid user, but someone who's 40 pounds, 50 pounds lighter, they could probably do it naturally. Well, no, most of, 99% out of times 100, no, you cannot. Sorry.
I believe that Chris is a healthier. I think he's very responsible with his because he's had some immune issues and but I don't think many elite athletes of any sport are not using some sort of enhancement.
No, I mean, even the Olympics, which is supposed to be the gold standard for drug-free athletic competition, this last Olympics, they've been getting popped left and right.
Yeah.
And half the time, I think they still let them slide because they come up with some lame excuse. That was my grandma's meatloaf had some D-ball in it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there will always be, and there has always been a way to get around those tests one way or another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, steroids. It could be like EPO and the, different blood transfusions and what are those new injections that people get? Stem cell stuff like that.
There's like archery and target shooting are in the Olympics. They take a drug to slow their heartbeat down. It's a banned drug, but they use it just so that they don't have any movement at all when they're taking that shot. So yeah, there's drugs everywhere. It's just bodybuilders wear it on their sleeves. You're looking at the results right there in front of you. It's a bunch of lean ass muscle tissue that a human being normally would not be able to carry. So yeah, let's wrap it up. So Classic Physique, obviously it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I think we both agree open bodybuilding is not going anywhere either. That's a crazy thing that some people brought up, like, oh no, they're going to get rid of open. They're not going to get rid of open. Are you out of your mind? Yeah, I mean, people aren't going to pay $1,000 VIP ticket packages for the Olympia if there's no open bodybuilding in it. Come on.
I got to admit, when it first started, similar to men's physique, the bodybuilding purist in me was like, give me a break, these guys. But, now that I'm so far removed from competing myself, I totally appreciate those other divisions. The men's physique guys, I still call them men's bikini sometimes, but they're bigger than ever. These guys are huge. And their physiques are nuts. And the classic guys, I think they've done such a great job at developing it, with how they've judged and what they're rewarding and what it's become. It is as hardcore as you can get. These guys are peeled. They're in great condition and their presentation is next level. The majority of them really pose well and make it fun. So I love it. I'm a huge fan of it. As much as I didn't at first, I really love it now in the direction that it's gone. And now these guys that are the top 5, 6 guys in the world are the elite of the elite, and they stand out. And it's a great thing for the up and coming guys to look towards, to look at. That is what Classic Physique is, and they can build their vision off of this.
And I think their Olympia, especially, is it's a lot more exciting than the Open Olympia because you typically know who's going to win the Olympia, especially unless Rami really messes up or Brandon comes in looking crazy like he's never looked before. they're probably going to give it to Rami again. It's going to be the same guys, but in Classic, we have Bumstead, but Bumstead, he's a great champion, but everybody can be beaten. Urs is getting better. Ramondino is getting better. Breon's still around. You got Logan coming up. You got Terrence, obviously, is a threat. I mean, any one of these guys on any given day, if they really bring it and the champion slips, they're moving in. They're taking that title away. They're a lot more closely matched, the top 5, 6 in Classic, to me, I feel, than the Olympia is.
I think they should allow the weight limit to go up even more a little bit. Because I think Terrence is maxed out weight-wise. I'm not sure how much more muscle he can put on, and his frame can hold more and still be beautiful, you know, where Bumstead still has weight that he can put on. Urs has about 10 pounds that he can put on.
Yeah.
These guys, so those guys can improve, but I'm not sure how much Terrence can. So I think the weight should come up a little bit, just because.
I've brought up the question to different people. Why not just take away the weight limit altogether for those guys and just go by the look? And if they don't have the aesthetics, they don't have the proportions, then they don't place well. They get placed down, just like men's physique. There's no weight cap on men's physique. And these guys that come in looking like bodybuilders, they don't win. They never win.
Because at the amateur level, it would be, you have to have divisions or you're going to have 140 guys in one class, you know?
Didn't think of that.
So the way they're doing it is, it works best for the business of bodybuilding, you know, where they can give out this many pro cards. Then you have, because if there's going to be 200 guys in one division and only one pro card,
they'd probably make a top 10 get turned pro or something.
Yeah, well,
like
I think the way they're doing it is good. I think it works. It's working well. I think maybe a bump in weight would make a difference for a couple guys, and you wouldn't have the issue of people really having to. Well, that's stupid because people always have to suck down in the weight class. But there are some tweaks that can be made, I'm sure, and you know, it's always evolving. You know, at the beginning, it was way different than it is now, and it's just gotten better. It's going to continue to get better. I'm excited to see what's happening.
I agree.
And as far as Rami, I think Rami, I don't think it's a lock by any means. I think this new version of a healthy Bonac with the right coach, you know, he's clearly meshing well with Chad. In a full year, you know, a full another 9 months with Chad, we might see a crazy version of William.
True.
I'm very excited for him. I think.
And let's mention Brandon, because Brandon did not prepare.
Of course,
he was not 100%. He admits it. He only prepped 10 weeks for that show. He's going to prep a full 16 weeks, and he's going to spend the whole 16 weeks in Kuwait. So that's the Brandon we just saw a couple weeks ago in Ohio. It's not the Brandon you're going to see at the Olympia.
No, and there's a lot of up and coming guys like Raphael. I'm excited to see what he's looking like. I've seen some recent pictures of him at like 265. He looks like a different person now.
Wow.
He looks incredible. And you know, the other guys, Nick Walker, Hunter, Ian, there's a lot of good young talent coming up.
Absolutely.
Hottie, what is a freaky Hottie gonna look like? What about Flex Lewis? What if we get to see full-blown Flex Lewis?
Last time I know you were in contact with him all the time. Is he still on track for the Olympia?
I haven't asked. I haven't heard. You know, he's had a couple injuries. I know that, and he's keeping himself busy.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, yes, he's going to be.
Because he missed 2019, 20, and 21 Olympias. Please don't miss another Olympia, Flex. Come on.
That's a long time. The last time I competed was the last time he competed.
That's right.
And it feels like a decade ago now. So
I bet it does.
I hope he does.
All right. Well, that's it, guys. I think we covered the topic. Classic Physique is definitely catching up. Jose and I are both in agreement on that. Open bodybuilding ain't going away. Don't worry about that. But classic, you can't stop progress. You can't, you give people like what they like. You give them what they want and they come back for more. Classic is what they like, especially the younger guys. So
I like wellness. Wellness is coming along just swell.
Swell, yeah.
It's very swell.
You know, Janet was sitting next to me at the finals, and she's like, I don't get this. What's the difference between them and, you know, figure and that? I was trying to explain it, but I suck.
What?
I'm like, they're bigger butts, bigger thighs, bigger calves. She goes, well, why? Why do they need a division for that? I go, well, it's already.
There's women that look like that.
Because yeah, South America is, you know, she should know. She's Latin. They're loaded with Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, places like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women built like that. So yeah, that's why you need, but I don't know if we're going to need any more divisions. I think we're good. I think we have 11 divisions now. If you count, you know, wheelchair, physique, bikini, I think 11 is good, but they might say 12 would be better. It's an even number. So we could see one more division.
That'll be interesting.
Men's wellness. Men's wellness. All right. That's my comeback. All right, man. Thank you, Jose, for taking the time. Everybody, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave some comments, argue with us if you want. We love that crap. And we will see you next time right here on No Way Jose.